Good morning. Happy Monday. It is time for just a word from the Word. Our passage comes from the Old Testament prophet Jeremiah, chapter 33 and verse 8. And it says, "And I will cleanse them from all their iniquity, whereby they have sinned against me, and I will pardon all their iniquities, whereby they have sinned, and whereby they have transgressed against me." It's that word pardon that has just so grabbed my spirit over this last week. I even taught about it yesterday in Sunday school. But in thinking about the word pardon, my brain went to the phrase, and perhaps you've said it, I know I have, I beg your pardon. What does that really mean? You're really apologizing for the inconvenience of having, someone to do something that maybe is inconvenient to them, that you really need them to do it again. Like if someone said something you didn't hear them, you say, I beg your pardon, and then they'll repeat whatever it was that they said. You inconvenienced them by having to repeat their words, or perhaps somebody did something wrong and you said, I beg your pardon, excuse me. It's just that whole idea of what's going on, forgive me, or you need to be forgiven because you've done something that you probably shouldn't have done. Pardon me. My mind goes oftentimes to Psalm 51, where King David was repenting over the sin against having Uriah murdered and having a relationship with Bathsheba that he should not have had. And Psalm 51 is David's way of repenting. It's him saying, I've sinned, I've done wrong, forgive me, pardon me. I beg, I need your forgiveness. David cries out for cleansing. And by the end of Psalm 51, we see that David is feeling the cleansing of the Lord. But what does pardon scripturally, legally, what does that mean? To be forgiven is to have your sin recognized, but you still just might have to suffer a little bit of consequence for it. Now, by God's grace and mercy, when we're living for the Lord, those consequences aren't nearly as drastic because of His grace and His mercy. But when it comes to being completely and fully pardoned, a pardon legally is you're forgiven, and the consequences of your sin are forgiven. Your record is completely cleansed. It's as if you never sinned before. That sin is gone. It is pardoned. I love that. Love that. I love the fact that God pardons us from our sin. I've been singing this last week, mercy there was great and grace was free. Pardon there was multiplied to me there. My burdened soul found liberty at Calvary. Oh, to be completely pardoned, to be completely cleansed from our sin. I found a quote this last week as I was studying, and I want to share it with you all this morning. Cleansing removes guilt, pollution, defilement morally. Pardon brings the offender back into relationship of favor and fellowship. God never pardons polluted souls. He first cleanses them. Pardon not only brings us back into a right relationship with God, but it stops the effect of the sin in our lives. In other words, when we're pardoned, we are set free from both the stain and the consequences of sin. I want somebody to get set free this morning. I wanted somebody to get set free yesterday during our Sunday school. God forgives and He pardons. He takes away the sin. He cleanses your record. It is wiped clean. And the effects of that sin, the consequences of that sin are lifted and will not have to be paid. How in the world can that happen? Y'all know where I'm going. What can wash away my sin? Nothing but the blood of Jesus. The blood of Jesus cleanses us, washes us, purifies us, pardons us from all of our sin. Walk in that freedom. Y'all, if there's somebody out there and you're feeling guilty over sins that you've repented over, stop it. That guilt is from Satan. That is not from God. Walk free. If you're carrying the weight of your mistakes, even though you've repented and you've made them right with both God and man, and yet you still feel condemned, stop that. Rebuke Satan and walk free. Because Satan doesn't want us walking free. He doesn't want us walking free from guilt and condemnation. Those are key works of Satan in our lives. And he does that to stop the work of God in our lives. Don't let him do that to you. You are pardoned. You are cleansed. You are washed by the word and the blood of Jesus. Walk free. This morning's just a word from the word is just that. Walk free. Stand free in the freedom that the Lord has given to you by his blood, by his grace, by his mercy. Don't be in bondage again. Go to Galatians 5:1. Stand on that verse this morning. Walk free in the Spirit. Jesus wants you to. Now, if you've sinned and you haven't repented, and you've sinned and you haven't made it right with somebody that you need to make it right with, then you need to go take care of that. You need to make it right with that person or those people. You need to make it right. And then you can come before God and make it right with him. And then, then you can walk in freedom. Then you can feel the cleansing blood of Jesus pardoning you, cleansing you and releasing you from the consequences of that sin. This has been just a word from the word. God bless you. Have a beautiful day. And Lord willing, we'll see you tomorrow.